Now at 6, authorities say alcohol might have contributed to the deaths of two men struck by a train in Jasper County. Plus, the Cornell complex in Joplin hosts a ribbon-cutting ceremony celebrating its first anniversary. And an organization dedicated to the prevention of child trafficking and abuse gets a donation from the Arvest Foundation.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Investigators now say alcohol might have been involved in the deaths of two men struck by a train in Jasper County yesterday. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. It happened on the railroad bridge near Highway 171 and Pennell Street in Carl Junction around 2:20 yesterday afternoon. Authorities have identified the victims as 24-year-old Dakota Bittner of Webb City and 39-year-old Terry Long of Oronogo. Investigators say Bittner's truck had struck a concrete block near the base of the railroad bridge. A witness said the two men were on the bridge, and despite the sounding of the train horn, they were struck by the train. Authorities say evidence at the scene indicated that alcohol might have been a factor in the incident, but they did not elaborate. Authorities respond to reports of a woman falling off the Bluff Trail in Wildcat Glades in Joplin. It happened just after 12:30 this afternoon. Responders believe the woman fell 30 to 40 feet near the area known as Mother Nature's Crack. Rescuers had to launch a boat and approach from the water to get her to an ambulance. Authorities say the victim was injured but responsive. For updates on this story, download the KOAM News Now app. Authorities in Jasper County arrest 3 people and recover more than $90,000 worth of stolen property. Authorities say 48-year-old Kenneth Pippin, 36-year-old Christopher Gordon, and 62-year-old Terry Ward worked together to steal $92,000 worth of equipment, including a pickup, a flatbed trailer, 3 lawnmowers, and landscaping tools. Most of the equipment was recovered on September 11th. That's also when Pippin was arrested. Gordon and Ward have been arrested now during a follow-up investigation. All 3 are charged with felony stealing. Nice start to the work week weather-wise. Chief Meteorologist Doug Eddy.
Yeah, it turned out to be a pretty mild to warm day across the region. A little bit on the breezy side, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the next couple days. But we are dry. It's dark already. It's after 6 o'clock, which is kind of crazy. Joplin, Pittsburgh, sitting mid to upper 60s. We're at 68 in Carthage, 73 in Anderson, 72 in Welch. Fort Scott is sitting at about 65 degrees. It is a little bit on the windy side as well. We've had winds gusting at times 25 upwards to 30, and it's going to stay that way as we go through the next couple days. All right, in Joplin, 69 northerly winds starting to taper just a little bit at about 3 miles per hour. As we go through the evening hours, we're going to slide back through the 60s, but we'll only bottom out near 60 later on tonight. In fact, we warm up a little bit more as we go through the next couple days. We're going to look at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. It was November of last year when Joplin's Cornell complex first opened its doors, and today they celebrated their first anniversary with a ribbon-cutting ceremony and more. The DLR Group, in partnership with Corner Greer Architects, developed the complex.
I think that this vision was a long time coming. It was, way back in 2007 was the first discussions of there needing to be a destination for the arts in Joplin. And so just being able to see, that vision become reality has been an amazing experience.
In the past year, the Cornell complex has welcomed more than 28,000 guests and hosted more than 400 events. The Arvest Foundation is assisting a Joplin group's campaign to expand its services. KOAM's Amber Jenkins spoke with Rafa International CEO about the donation.
We're just so grateful to the Arvest Foundation. It means the world to have local support for the work that we're doing for children right here in our community.
The Joplin chapter of Rafa International is $25,000 closer to its goal thanks to a donation from the Arvest Foundation.
Formerly a church, and it's going to be the perfect space to increase trauma counseling services here in our community, but also to move our U.S. headquarters there as well.
RAFA is just one of the multiple community organizations that ARVIS grants money to every year.
One way or the other, and so anything we can do to help them along their journey is something we're going to do.
Internationally, historically, RAFA has been focused on residential aftercare for child survivors of trafficking and sexual abuse. A big part of that, obviously, is going to be trauma therapy, and that's something that we've been able to bring here to the United States.
Although RAFA is known for international work, building a headquarters in Joplin will also help make trauma counseling more accessible.
The quality trauma counseling services are really lacking in our region. We have a lot of kids that need these services in our community and throughout Southwest Missouri. And what we're hoping to do is to pilot a really healthy model that can be reproduced in other areas where there's lack of services.
The donation is funded by ARVIS shareholders, not deposits.
We're not using our customers' money. It's a totally different pile of money, so no fears there.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Rafa House says renovations are planned to be finished by next spring. Coming up, some Diamond High Schoolers hope to realize some Diamond dreams thanks to a scholarship. Plus, you voted for it, and now we have the results. Brock names the Performance of the Week coming up later in sports.
From the moment
Care. Sam's Club got in on the spirit of giving by donating to the Children's Miracle Network. During its 2023 campaign for CMN, Sam's Club raised more than $60,000. And today it presented a great big check to Freeman officials to benefit the program.
We just start with a month of doing different things. Our banner program's the biggest part of it. But we reach out and see what equipment they may need or put a goal for the associates. Inner battles between Sam's Clubs, we like to beat everybody in the nation, but at the same time, we know everything stays local, and that's what drives us.
This is the 5th year the Joplin store has led all other Sam's Club stores in fundraising, taking the top spot in 2018 and 2020 through this year. Joplin organization raises some cold hard cash for a good cause. The Joplin Polar Bear Plunge announced it raised more than $10,000 to benefit Special Olympics Missouri. Total of 48 brave men and women from all around the area donned disco-themed costumes and swimwear to take a chilly dip into Shoal Creek to support the cause. The event marked the first Joplin Polar Plunge since 2017. You can head over to somo.org/plunge for more information. A little bit later, the Gorillas prepare to bounce back after their first MIAA loss in more than 2 seasons. Brock has details in sports.
Plus, our temperatures warm up even a little bit more over the next couple days. We're going to check that out coming up.
A Center for the Arts.
Well, it turned out to be a mild/warm one today. A lot of clouds, but temperatures climbed mid-70s for highs. We've kind of had a slow warming trend over the weekend into, well, today. And it looks pretty good right now. Of course, we've lost the evening daylight hours. It gets dark shortly after 5, which kind of stinks, but at least temperatures are pretty good right now. Nice shot downtown Joplin. We're using our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam, so we're looking off toward the north to the northeast, but looks pretty good as we go through the next few hours. All right, weak little front. It's kind of draped on top of us. That's why it's warmer in our southern counties, mid-60s, in our northern counties. But everybody's going to stay fairly mild tonight. We have those southerly winds kicking in 10, 15, upwards to about 20 miles per hour. They're backing down a little bit tonight, but they're going to get moving again as we go into the daytime hours tomorrow. So we'll, especially our southern counties, you'll have gusts kind of in that 20 upwards to 30 mile per hour range, and then maybe a little bit higher by the time we head into Wednesday, gusts 25 upwards to 35 miles per hour. So it is going to stay windy as we go through the next couple days, and even behind our next cold front stays windy late Wednesday. Through the evening, slow drop through the 60s. We'll bottom out only at about 60 later on tonight. We do have a lot of clouds kind of skirting through. There's nothing underneath the clouds, but we can't rule out a random sprinkle or two late tonight, especially in our northern counties. But besides that, not a whole bunch going on. Here's our next little wave. Northern parts of the Rockies into the Pacific Northwest. It doesn't have a lot of moisture with it, but it will play havoc with our temperatures a bit as we get into early next week. So here's our upper level wave, and as we go through the next several days, you can see, pretty zonal flow, meaning west to east. You can see this little dip here. So this is Thursday, some showers kind of passing through, and then we get some cooler air that works behind it, but the overall scheme here is no big storm systems all the way for this week until that guy will start to affect us. Next week, we'll start to get some bigger systems into the region. All right, let's go through time tonight. We'll drop back near 60, a lot of clouds. Again, there may be a sprinkle or two out there. As we go through the morning, we break out partly sunny skies, mid-70s by noon. Once we get into the afternoon, most of us 78, 77, 77 Anderson, 79 at Grand Lake Chanute, up to about 75 degrees. Tomorrow night stays mild. We drop back lower 60s. And then as we go into Wednesday, here comes our cold front, slides in during the afternoon, so the winds will switch around to the northwest. Now, ahead of the front, I think most of us will warm up to about 80, maybe even 81 degrees. Now, behind the front, cool air works in. As we go into Thursday morning, you can see a few showers, mainly in our southern counties. Most of us look like we'll stay dry, but our temperatures are going to cool down just a bit. All right, day planning for you tomorrow, 72 at 11, 5 p.m., 75 degrees. Let's go for a high of 80, 81 Wednesday, 58, so quite a bit cooler on Thursday. Back to 60 on Friday, and then check this out. Sunny skies heading into the weekend. This will be our second nice fall-like weekend in a row with high temps into the mid-60s Saturday and Sunday.
So a bit cooler, but still tolerable.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nice, especially for November.
You bet. Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Pitt State announces the hiring of the first women's soccer coach in program history. And the latest college football Division II rankings have been released. Brock Baldridge is going to break it all down for us next in sports.
The Mansion Theater for the Performing Arts invites you to a 30th
KOAM News Now, home of Super Bowl 58.
The Pittsburgh State Gorillas are coming off of their first MIAA loss in over 2 seasons. Pitt State is still alive to play in the NCAA Division II playoffs, but Saturday's 1-point loss against Missouri Western certainly did not help.
Sometimes, the chips fall how they do, but, we beat ourselves in a couple areas where, we had some penalties, some late calls that, obviously don't go our way, but, regardless of the fact, we have to be better in our execution and just in our preparation. Today we didn't rise to the occasion, and, that unfortunately we fell a little short.
We got to do a better job. We got to have more discipline than that, especially in a tight football game that way. And I think, disappointed in how we played certainly, and got to be better.
So after that 31-30 loss over the weekend, here's where Pittsburgh State currently stacks up against the rest of the Division II regional rankings. If the season ended today, the Gorillas would be the number 3 seed in the Super Region 3. And that means the 3 seed would play the 6 seed, meaning Pittsburgh State would host Osheta Baptist in the first round of the playoffs. Of course, all this could change between now and Saturday. We'll have the official College Football Divisional II bracket this Sunday when the final results are in. Well, Monday marks the final weekly press conference for the Missouri Southern Lions football team. Missouri Southern is coming off of a loss to Emporia State last Saturday, and now the Lions look to finish the season strong on Senior Day. Well, we do not have the video for that, so we're just going to move on now to the Pittsburgh State women's soccer team. The athletic program announced that the addition of a women's soccer coach this past week, or at least 3 months ago it was, and now we have a first head coach in program history. Wes Brandstetter is the first women's soccer coach in program history for the Pitt State Gorillas. So here's what we know of him so far. Brandstetter is an assistant coach at Oral Roberts for the past 9 seasons. Last year, he led Oral Roberts to an 8-7-4 record. He was also the coach in 16 all-conference performers and 16 newcomers for freshmen. Brandstetter comes from Sapulpa, Oklahoma. He's also a graduate from the University of Tulsa. Well, today marks day number 1 for the Division I men's college basketball season. The Kansas Jayhawks and the Kansas State Wildcats are both opening their seasons tonight. The Kansas Jayhawks enter their college basketball season as the #1 ranked team in the AP poll. The Jayhawks face the North Carolina Central Eagles at Allen Fieldhouse tonight. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. Central. We'll have a score update from that tonight at 10. Also, the Kansas State Wildcats open their season tonight against the USC Trojans in Las Vegas. This game is set for a late start tonight. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. Central. We'll also have a final score update from that game tonight at 10. Well, the Webb City soccer team for boys soccer is the #1 seed in the Missouri Class III District 6 tournament. Well, the Cardinals look to bring home a district title tonight. Webb City is playing in a neutral site in Branson tonight, facing the Central Bulldogs of Springfield. Winner moves on to face Springfield Catholic in the state quarterfinals. We'll also have a final score update tonight at 10, and we'll see if Webb City can pull a win out. Speaking of Webb City, that brings us to our performance of the week, which is the Webb City Cardinals football team. Webb City scored 71 points over Belton last Friday night. The Cards scored from their first 2 plays from scrimmage. Webb City is now going to shift their focus to the Carthage Tigers for the district championship this Friday night. Where Webb City and Carthage, they both played each other earlier in the season, and it was Carthage that beat Webb City 20-13, so that should be a really fun matchup between two schools.
Yeah, scoring from the first 2 plays from scrimmage is impressive.
That's going to help, especially if you're going to score 71 points.
Yeah, I would think so. We'll be right back.
In a world where hero.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOIM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to have more on the first anniversary of the Harry M. Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex in Joplin. Plus, the Joplin City Council considers a request for a tax break for a business looking to expand. And we're going to have some tips to help you help your kids with their homework. Yeah, that can be a challenge. Those stories, a lot more, of course. It's coming up tonight. KOIM News at 9 on Fox 14. When severe weather strikes, you're going to want to stay informed, and you can do that by scanning this QR code. You can do it right now. It'll take you to the KOIM News Now YouTube page, where our weather team will live stream during severe weather, give you all the updated information. And while you're there, be sure to subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. A new scholarship endowment for Diamond High School graduates is now raising funds with a $250,000 goal. A match promises to double donations to $500,000. When the endowment meets its fundraising goal, it's going to provide about $20,000 annually for scholarships to Diamond High School grads. The Paul Diekhoff Diamond High School Fund is named in memory of a beloved civics and history teacher. It was recently established with the Neosho Area Community Foundation. Donations can be made to cfozarks.org/diamond. And a reminder, KOIM's very last flag swap of the year is going to be tomorrow. If you have a tattered American flag and you want to exchange it for a new one, look for us across the street from the Walmart in Parsons, Kansas, from noon until 1:30 or whenever we run out of flags. We have been running out of flags on some of these events, so don't wait. Old flags will be properly retired by the Boy Scouts Troops of America on Veterans Day, which of course is this coming Saturday. So you want to have your new flag before then. The weather looking pretty nice.
It does. We'll only drop back right around 64 us later on tonight. So it's going to stay fairly mild. Let's go 80 tomorrow, 81 on Wednesday. So warming up a little bit more over the next couple days. Cold front by late Wednesday. So this means cooler on Thursday. Could get a few showers, but not a big deal.
Yes, not. Final sports note.
Well, it's like warm weather for a winter sport starting tonight for the Division I men's college basketball season. KU at home, K-State at a neutral site, and even Missouri, Oklahoma State, they all begin their seasons tonight as well.
It's always an exciting time. Everyone starts off in first place, and everybody has high expectations.
Yeah, 0-0.
You bet. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOIM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Closed captioning on KOAM News is sponsored